Christine from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're taking a look at the SWISSGEAR Sion expandable carry-on spinner luggage, which I've been testing for a couple weeks. Let's get to it. SWISSGEAR makes a lot of different sizes of the Sion luggage. We've got the carry-on size here. It's 21 inches, but let me tell you, please make sure to check the correct dimensions of the airline you're flying, because while it says it's carry-on, it really only meets like one actual carry-on compliance. So I had no problem getting this in the overhead bin at Delta, but they're really permissible, especially even for an American carrier. So you've been warned. It's made with this scuff-resistant polyester material, which did hold up really well. It looks exactly like it did when I got it, which does mean that all these loose threads were there to begin with. There's loose threads all over this place, just letting you know. We've got the SWISSGEAR logo here. We have a really great, oh look, more threads. A really great padded handle here on the top. However, I wish the side handle was just as nice, more loose threads, because this is the one you're gonna use if you have to carry it sideways. Anywho, that's just my opinion. There is one here on the bottom too, in case you want to pull it out of the trunk or the overhead bin. We've got unbranded zippers, but they work really well. And the main compartment ones you can slide a lock through, and SWISSGEAR does sell a lock to do that with if you wished. However, there is also an expansion zipper, which I like the fact that it's a ring instead of that rectangular pull, so you know exactly which one to use if you want to make this baby bigger. We have leather-like material. This is where you slide in an ID card, and it's also here reinforcing the bottom so that if you get splashed, that's really nice. While I'm already over here, let's talk about the spinner wheels. They are really thick and sort of recessed. They spin really well. Not quite as fast as some other luggage that I've had, but I mean, only because I had a direct comparison could I see. They do tend to grab hair, which can be an issue after a while, so just keep that in mind, especially if you have long hair. The telescoping handle has this really nice clicky button and expands really nicely, although it only has 2 stopping points. So as I was just saying, there are only 2 handle adjustments here, and that's the lowest one. And I feel like a short person. I guess I'm average, but I feel kind of short, and that's just a little too tall for me. So if you were actually shorter, it's a little on the tall side. That said, you can drag it behind you very easily, and it works out well that way. It's really not that big of a deal. I'm just nitpicking here. So the handle itself is comfortable. It's just plastic, no rubbery grips or anything like that, but it's comfortable enough. And this bag, I feel, has a really nice professional sort of utilitarian look, especially in this gray colorway. You can get it in other colors, and they all have the same black zippers and accents, but if you wanted something like teal, like to match shirt, you could do that. It rolls very nicely over most surfaces on 4 wheels, but if you get something rougher or thicker, it's really easy to just, there we go, if I'm not catching on something, it's really easy to turn and pull behind you, and rolls well that way too. So when you're trying to decide between hard-sided luggage and soft-sided luggage, you know, one of the dings against soft-sided is, and I've had this happen to me, not with this bag obviously, is, you know, if you have to check it, it can get damaged. Maybe it gets caught against a zipper, or I don't know how my one bag got slashed. It looked like somebody attacked it with a knife. It didn't, I don't think, I hope. Anywho, so, but what you do get when you pick soft-sided luggage is a lot of times you will get exterior pockets, which many times on hard-sided luggage you have to give up. So you win some, you lose some, right? In the case of this one, we were able to travel quite nicely without a secondary pack with this bag because of these pockets. So this top one is pretty much the right size for, I've just got an itty bitty teeny toiletry bag here, but you can fit like your liquid 311 bag in there. It's also a great spot for your phone, wallet, keys. You can just empty your pockets before TSA and put them in there, and then you just sail right through. It's all here. You don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot my chapstick in the bin, you know? So that's really nice. And then this bottom one, if you had more stuff, you can slide snacks in here. I've got an extra layer, just sort of a wrap in here just to show you, but you know, you could fit an extra layer. You can fit a book in here, depending on, I mean, I fit actually a pretty large size book in there because I like to travel with books, but you could definitely put a Kindle in there if you wanted. And it has a little bit of protection, so maybe make sure anything delicate has a good case, but it's just nice being able to lock down some things on the outside of your bag so you're not trying to dig into it at the airport. So if you are finding this video helpful, go ahead and click like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you content like this to help you travel smarter. But now let's go into the main compartment. The zipper is towards the top of the bag here. So unlike hard-sided luggage where it basically splits in half, this is much more of a bucket-like opening. So we have just a thin lid and then a big bucket to pack the rest of your gear, which you either like or you don't, but this is what I was used to growing up, so it's much easier to just sort of think about it if you're used to it. It's really not that hard either way, but it is what it is. So on this front part, we have a very large mesh pocket. Oh, let me slide this over, sorry about that. Large mesh pocket with just liner material up here, liner material down there. Obviously, whatever you shove in these front pockets will slightly impact what you can fit in this mesh pocket, but it's really good. You can see for like flat gear, like socks, gloves, stuff like that. If you had some paperwork, it would work well here. You don't want anything too fat or it's gonna protrude into the rest of the main compartment. So it's just something to keep in mind. Then we do have, there is another zipper pocket here along the side, and I didn't really use it for much because you can see basically all your clothing is blocking it. So if you're going to be bringing like extra cash or you wanted to put a smart tracker in your bag to make sure that you could reconnect with it, or at least know where it is, because obviously there's an ID tag back there if you want somebody to call you, but you would know where the bag is in case it got checked or whatever. It's a good place for stuff like that. Maybe your passport after you've gotten through customs, slide it there because you're not going to need it the rest of your trip. But I wouldn't put things in there that you're going to want like to get at because it's just everything's going to be blocking it. So the rest of this though, we have a fairly large open compartment and we have these compression straps with just unbranded buckles, but they work well. They're rather thin. You can also, I've got them, they run horizontal like this, but you could also, if it works better for you, you can like crisscross them if that holds your gear in place better. So sometimes it depends on how you're packing. Sometimes it works better to do it that way, and it's nice that the buckles can connect to each other, and also you have plenty of slack to do that with. Especially, you also have plenty of slack if you engage the expansion to accommodate going over all of that. So I'm gonna pull out a few things. I've got a packable hat here, and then this is the last little organizational feature. So they give you this like TPU bag, and it snaps in. So you think, oh, this is great for like toiletries and stuff like that, which it is, except for the fact that waterproof material, not waterproof zipper. So if something, you know, if your shampoo explodes in here, there's a decent chance it could seep out the zipper, and then it's laying basically right on top of your clothing. Now, you could remove this, put this in the front pocket. It would also make it easier to pull out at the TSA line if you needed. Or you can use this for like a damp swimsuit, stuff like that, that maybe wouldn't be so likely to leak out. It's silly to me when you put a regular zipper on a quote unquote sort of water resistant, waterproof bag. I don't know, just not how I would do it, but that's me. Anywho, it's here. You can also put things that don't leak in there. Like I've got some just bar soap. So then I have just put clothing and packing cubes in here so you can see there's a lot of space. Obviously, you've got the handles protruding here, but there's still plenty of space for all your gear. And because it's like a bucket, it's really easy to live out of on vacation because you can just put it on the luggage rack, which I really like. So there you have it, the SWISSGEAR Sion expandable carry-on spinner. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.